Good morning, beautiful people. It is Tuesday, August 25th, 2020. Some would say it's potentially the biggest day in sporting news history.
Woo! Yeah!
There's a lot to talk about today, isn't there?
Oh, yeah.
Too much.
Listen to this. North Dakota State, ever heard of them? It's a school. They are national champions in football all the time. They have scheduled a lone exhibition game to show off their quarterback, who's the number 3 overall prospect in next year's draft class. We watched his highlight. Trey Lance is his name.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
We watch his highlight film. He is a stud. This dude threw 28 touchdowns, 0 interceptions last year. They won the national championship. 6'3", 225 pounds-ish. He can run, and I have no idea why he is at North Dakota State, just like I didn't understand why Carson Wentz was at North Dakota State. Just like any human that comes out of North Dakota State, I don't fully understand how they end up at North Dakota State, but that seems to be a factory over there. Everybody knows that South Dakota State Jackrabbits are the home of the greatest humans in the Dakotas. Okay, no offense, North Dakota, just never been there, but I do know that Adam Vinatieri and thousands of Jackrabbits have shown me a lot of love over there at South Dakota State. My first game day trip, they're good people, but that North Dakota State team, unbelievable what they've been able to accomplish in the recruiting game, in the development game, and now they have a guy who's going to be a first-round draft pick, probably a top 10 draft pick at quarterback, and even though they weren't going to be able to play because this COVID-19 lady came through with a yah-yah, they're scheduling one game against Central Arkansas, who do we know anything about?
They lost in the second round of the FCS playoffs last year to Illinois State.
Roll Birds.
Shout out, Roll Birds.
So not a bad team. They didn't schedule Cupcake.
Okay, and I don't know how Central Arkansas became. I mean, there's a lot of schools out there that they probably could have done it. So the fact that Central Arkansas and North Dakota State are putting together an exhibition game to play that I assume will be televised somewhere for us to watch because this guy's a stud, which is good for North Dakota State, good for Central Arkansas. You have to wonder what the Big Ten folks are thinking, knowing that North Dakota State, not only are they going to have a draft pick that is going to go near where Justin Fields is going to go. But they're also able to put together games where Ohio State's not allowed to, Iowa's not allowed to, Nebraska's not allowed to, Penn State's not allowed to, nobody's allowed to, but North Dakota State's going to play. But there is a top 25 ranking that was released in college football. 9 of the top 25 not going to be able to play, and Ohio State is ranked at number 2. We'll talk to Eddie George at 10:30 Eastern Daylight Time here in about 28 minutes, and we'll talk to him about how this Ohio State team ranked number 2. Great football squad. I assume that there was a lot of excitement going into this season, especially what Justin Fields was able to do last year, but if they're not playing football and North Dakota State plays one game and they win by a lot, it's going to be hard not to rank North Dakota State above Ohio State as soon as that game ends, and I know that's exactly how the Ohio State fans are probably currently acting towards Kevin Warren on the internet right now. How is this school able to put together a game, but we're not? It's a wild time to be alive, and literally there's no sports to talk about. The Los Angeles Lakers are back. LeBron seems to be locked in. They're up like 60 points at halftime, scored 80 in the first 2 quarters. At one point, they were up 24-8 on Kobe Bryant Day, which is awesome. LeBron James said afterwards they felt like Kobe was in the building with us, and it definitely looked like that. Our guy, Swish, J.R. Smith, only made 1 3. It was legendary. Passed Kobe Bryant, I believe, for threes in playoffs, pointed up to the sky, said, hey, thanks a lot. The LA Lakers, after having a terrible performance in the first game of this playoff series, now off and running. What time is it? Not Dame time. Sure feels like it is 0 Braun 30 or whatever the hell he calls it. They're locked in. The Lakers are going to be a problem tonight. Mavericks-Clippers game. It'll be on television, and I will be in the crowd. I will be somewhere in the crowd. Our friends at FanDuel signed me up for it. I got a text that was like, hey, do you want to be in the crowd for the Mavericks-Clippers game? I was like, absolutely. They're like, cool, you're in. Here you go. This is what we're going to do. We haven't figured it out yet. I think there's going to be some sort of picture contest. If you see me on TV and you clip it, I think FanDuel is going to pick a winner, and they're going to give $500 in site credit to somebody that they enjoy. So I don't know if it's going to be we got to wait for the rules from the FanDuel people, but I think it's going to be like most entertaining or something like that, and maybe I'll hold up a word. I'm going to have to do something. I'm obviously going to enjoy the game. I'm getting a chance to watch Luka. I'm getting a chance to watch this Maverick team that nobody could have expected to be as good as they are, potentially upset a team that is in disarray right now. There's an online petition to send Paul George A big offseason signing for the to Europe. I think Clippers fans are signing a petition to send playoff P to Europe. Will Paul George be able to bounce back from that and get back to form? Will Kawhi Leonard be able to lock down Luka? It seems like nobody's been able to, even on a sprained ankle. I'll be there. I think the thing is going to be, if you take a picture of me and it's at a time that something's going to happen, and they're going to get $500 site credit.
Pretty good gig.
Speaking of, I do believe there's a new state coming on board in legalization for mobile gambling. I don't know if I'm the one who should be breaking the news.
Break it?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Who?
Beardan, Shaitan.
I do, but then now that's not a state. That's not a state. That would be a city. But I do believe Roll Birds.
State of mind, baby.
I think soon. I think very soon. Now, granted, I might have just messed it all up for even talking about it.
Well, I technically said it.
Well, this has been like a pump fake thing for the entire state for a little bit. You're supposed to get then something happened. I think it's happening. I think it's happening. Has anybody else reported this, Diggs? Diggs is currently Googling that.
I'm looking.
Per sources from Zeet, if you guys put out there.
It's happening soon. All the boys are here. At Nick Moraldo, at Tone Diggs, at Ty Schmidt, Jason McAfee, Viva La Zito, Evan Fox. Zito, you look unbelievable, by the way, while breaking
Feel good.
news.
Feel good. Play good.
Intern Mid is back there. He's answering phones. 1-833-622-3331. His hair looks fantastic at this point. Didn't get a chance to see him for a few weeks. It's great to see you, Mitten, on the couch at Boston Connor, looking.
Hey, support the Knots, baby. NASA.
Whoa.
Don't forget it.
The Knots. Okay, astronauts.
Support the Knots.
Yeah, boy. That you were very close.
the line.
I mean, that is an aggressive thing.
Is that right? What? I mean, I had it on the board. It's just support the Knots. Support the astronauts. Come on.
Yeah, the astronauts.
Yeah. N-A-U-T-S. Knots.
Yeah.
Support the Knots.
Yeah, I'm with a apostrophe before it.
With an apostrophe, yeah.
Yeah. Hair looks good, too. I like the high pony on it.
Thank you. I finally washed it after like 2 or 3 weeks, so I was like, you know what? I'll throw it up in a pony.
Proud of you. NBA is really the only thing that is
Steaming
happening
up
in the world that we're in right now. And it is getting hot, isn't it? Because
Oh,
the
yeah.
Lakers are getting hot. Luka's a star. Celtics are already through.
Yep.
Heat are already through.
Oh, yeah.
Raptors are already through.
Pacers are out.
Pacers got swept.
Yeah.
First team in the NBA history to lose in the first round of the playoffs for 5 consecutive years.
Yikes.
That's heartbreak city for the city of Indiana, who always thinks we potentially have a chance. If you get in a dance, got a chance. Then for the Pacers for the last 5 years, no chance. But
No chance.
I like what they're doing. You said, and you are not a basketball expert at all.
No.
You are just a guy that watches every game and listens to things that other people that are experts say. You said there's a chance the Pacers just blow the whole damn thing up here in the city, huh?
Well, they rebuilt around Oladipo. Oladipo walks off after they lose Game 3. Very sellout move. What are you going to do?
What happened? What happened?
After they lost the third game of the series, Oladipo was already walking to the locker room before the clock struck 0, so he's done. Sabonis, I think, is their best player and most team player on the team. He hasn't been in the bubble for quite some time. Huge loss for them, but probably smartest thing to ship Oladipo out. Probably send him to Philly because Philly just loves getting guys that are cancers to their team.
Jeez.
And then
Oh,
Sabonis
man.
is a
Do you
great
hear
player
this?
to have because he actually passes the ball and trusts his teammates. And
Oh, my
and he's
God.
not Oladipo.
I mean, there was no reason to saw down Oladipo.
Oh, no. It's just, hey, I'm just the guy watching, and, I see what I see, and then I just, talk what I see.
Well, when you say this is your city and then you keep going out every single year, I mean,
Whoa, who said this is my city?
No,
I
he
never
was talking
said
about
that.
Oladipo. This is something you didn't
yes,
watch.
exactly.
Yeah. This is something you didn't know.
Well, I don't listen to him because he's so brutal.
Oladipo, he can sing, though.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Great
Yeah.
opera
If
singer.
he sang during his press conferences, I'd watch him.
He did say, "This is my city," though, after hitting a shot in Indianapolis. I was very surprised by that move. I was like, okay, I like the way you're just taking ownership because you went to IU,
Yep.
which is
Yep.
hour and a half south here, which is a very different part of the state, by the way,
for sure.
Than where we are. But that's a shame. I would like to see the Pacers win because the city of Indianapolis would enjoy that. Everybody would be happy if the Pacers won. But here we are, lost in the first round for the 5th straight year. It happens. Things like that happen.
did you happen to see James Harden upset with the Purell machine?
Yeah, I saw him. By the way, James Harden, I think I figured out his game.
He did.
I think I figured out his
you
game.
did.
He's going to go in between the legs very fast, okay? It's like watching The Professor or Hot Sauce. The Professor and Hot Sauce, whenever the And One tour was going, they were trying to hypnotize you with whatever they're doing with their hands so that they can go through your legs. That's what they're trying to do, okay? And it's probably going to be an inside out through your legs if I had to guess because they're going to try to get you to open up. That's what James Harden does. He tries to hypnotize people, and then if they commit, he just blows by them and goes right to the rack. And if they fall back, step back 3. It's just like that. Yesterday, I feel like, who are they playing? The
Thunder.
Feels like the Thunder. By the way, watching Russell Westbrook and old cousin get into
Steven
it.
Adams, that was awesome.
Hey, that was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, it didn't get real serious because there was still some distance and there was a lot of pointing. But boy, it didn't. It was not like, hey, good to see you, man. No. It was not one of those, which is very interesting.
Those two would be a dog fight.
Yeah, I would say. I would.
7 years. Too.
I would say that.
If you're a teammate with someone for 7 years, you have a pretty decent relationship. Right?
You would think, but
yeah,
I would assume in basketball there's a chance that because it is a pretty you rely upon your best player a lot more in basketball than you do anywhere else. Now, granted, football, you rely on the quarterback a lot, but in basketball, for instance, if Russell Westbrook leaves, which he did, I mean, that's pretty much taking the team out of there because I would assume everything was kind of built around him after KD left. And then Chris Paul also, I don't think he and Russell Westbrook get along. I mean, that's a very interesting, because Russell Westbrook was Oklahoma City there for a while.
Oh, yeah.
KD left, remember? Russell Westbrook was the team. He like this is, hey, I'm not leaving. And then he goes to Houston because whatever happens, happens. And then they have that entire altercation before the game. It's very interesting. Basketball, everybody talks about how everybody loves each other. I don't think it's been that way for a lot of different situations here. It feels like everybody's been hating on each other.
I believe Westbrook is an outlier in the ELE situation in the NBA.
Yeah, he is a savage, that guy. So is James Harden, though.
And Chris Paul.
And I think Oklahoma City figured it out, by the way. Guy was just diving at his legs. It's like it's almost like him going through his legs or whatever. It's like a putt-putt thing where the fan's going and you just got to time whenever you put. And the guy just shot his hand in there and got it a couple of times. Harden knows that. He'll probably come out with some insane more moves and everything like that. Rockets lose. Harden's been on fire. The guy just can't not score, it feels like. But then the baby push of the hand sanitizer, I don't know. I'm like, hey, James, you're a savage. You know you're a savage. You're mad. Okay, I'm going to slam this. But then I think mid-thing, he was like, COVID-19.
Need that.
Can't catch it. It's already gone. That thing just falls slowly. Boom. Slow bump by the hand sanitizer thing, and he keeps it moving. The basketball thing has been pretty dramatic, I feel, here lately. Remember, the Lakers were dead just a few days ago. Charles Barkley was sweeping all over the studio. And then Foxy said, they're going to turn this around. Yeah. They're going to win the next 4. This isn't even going to be a problem. And it feels like Bron has completely dialed in on this whole thing. And shout out to Frank Vogel. They gave some stat in the middle of the game last night. Like, since Phil Jackson, I think there's been 7 coaches or something like that, and they haven't lasted long. Frank Vogel could be the guy that becomes the Lakers' next guy. I like that for old Frankie Vogel. And he's had to battle a lot of wild circumstances, obviously. But I think what Frank Vogel is he's a guy who understands his players and can figure out a way to motivate them. And I'm happy to see that it seems like they're all getting along, because I would assume coaching LeBron is not an easy thing, because LeBron is just as smart, if not smarter than you are when it comes to basketball IQ. That's just like Peyton. You talk to Peyton's coaches, they're like, oh, toughest task I've ever had. I get a text at 10 o'clock at night. He's expecting an answer. You get a text at 6 a.m., get a phone call whenever during the day. They got a lot of questions too, because they know a lot to ask. And it's like, you got to always be on top of your things. I would assume LeBron's the same exact way. If he wants to get better, he's going to ask questions of people who he asked the coach. But I already know a lot. So what are you going to tell me? Frank Vogel has to be an asset. I'm happy for him. And that Lakers team, they look dialed in. 80 points in the first half. How you doing? Keep it moving. Unbelievable.
We have breaking NFL news.
Here we go. Now we got something to talk about on the show. This is exciting.
The Arizona Cardinals is making 24-year-old two-time Pro Bowl selection Budda Baker the highest-paid safety in the NFL history, giving him 4-year, $59 million contract extension, $14.75 million average per year.
Wow. Good for old Budda Baker getting $15 million a year, basically. 2 years into this thing?
Two-time Pro Bowl, so he's 24. What's he been in the league, 3 years maybe?
Maybe 2. Who knows, however old he was coming in. Two-time Pro Bowler. Now, this is, by the way, Jamal Adams was expecting the same type of thing whenever he was with the Jets. This is exactly what he was thinking. Now, Cliff Kingsbury and the Arizona Cardinals have restarted that whole entire organization, basically. They got Kyler Murray in there. They got a young upstart. Now, granted, they bring in DeAndre Hopkins. You still got the 75-year-old Larry Fitzgerald who's still going to make plays for them. In that team last year, the Arizona Cardinals were a problem for teams at the end. Chandler Jones, I believe, had like 7,000 sacks. Nobody talked about it because he was out in the middle of the desert. That team now with Budda Baker and a young Kyler Murray, who hopefully this offseason got a lot better somehow. Quarantine, COVID-19 does not help a young quarterback get better with his wide receivers, but it could help him studying mentally to know the game a little bit better if he did that. Kyler Murray Cliff Kingsbury, now Buda Baker. That is a young group of people that are going to be tasked with leading the Cardinals into their next, hopefully legacy. I mean, they haven't been really relevant since who? Kurt Warner?
Yeah.
Yes.
Kurt Warner, basically.
1 year with Bruce Arians.
And BA, whenever
Yeah.
they had Carson Palmer there early. I mean, good for the Cardinals, good for Buda Baker. It's not easy to get paid. Not easy to get paid in a lot of positions. Safety is one of them. Now he's getting the most in the history of the game.
So he's been in the league 3 years, 2 Pro Bowls. Last year he had 147 tackles in safety.
So I made 24 tackles in my career. Okay. So he had how many? 100 and what?
47.
Okay, that's a lot of tackles.
Well, if you played his position, though,
I would be hurt within half quarter.
Zero interceptions in his career, though.
But a lot of tackles. So
Yeah,
it feels
yeah,
like he's box safety. Yeah, it feels like he's down there causing some problems over there. And by the way, box safeties are a big deal, especially with these running quarterbacks. And they got what? Russell Wilson up there got to deal
Plus,
with.
they got another box safety playing middle linebacker for them now in Isaiah Simmons.
He, by the way, defensive end safety hybrid, Isaiah Simmons, which that's actually what he is.
Yeah.
They are a young team out there. Hey, that's with some vets. You need vets. They're doing it right. They got rid of our guy, AQ Shipley, which we didn't love, but he has now found a home with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Yeah.
I'm not sure he is officially signed, by the way. Now,
Really?
I'm not sure he is officially signed. They've agreed to terms. I believe that happened a few days ago. But he had to take a physical. Plus, with the COVID-19 quarantine, before your physical, you travel out there, you take the test, you have to be quarantined. Then you got to do this. Then you got to be quarantined. I mean, it's a whole process. And I think Tom Pelissaro talked to us about that. I think last week he gave us a conversation about how the process for people to work out for teams is a long one. Like if somebody gets hurt now and you want to have a workout to potentially fill that role, they have to quarantine for at least 2 negative tests. Then they got to do this. Then they got to do this. Then they can work out. Then he might sign. It's very, very interesting. I believe AQ is potentially in the middle of quarantine right now, probably watching. Want to let you know, AQ, a lot of people, the conversation happening around us is that we should be mad at you for not letting us break the news. And I understand where those people are coming from.
Sure.
There was a lot of passionate people that were like, hey, how can AQ not let you break that news there? And I would like to let AQ know, we don't worry about that. Hey, AQ, you just go make that team, okay? You go play football good down there in Tampa. And next time you give us a piece of information like a month ahead of time of it being announced, I'm not going to sit on it. I just want you to know I'm not going to sit on it, okay? I just can't do it. No, I don't give a damn about that. I'm happy Shefty got that and released it. But we did know for quite some time that this is probably going to happen.
Over under on how many weeks until Tom loves AQ and then Tom comes on this show?
Well, a lot of people I saw you guys start cooking up that angle as well, and a lot of people were tweeting that you guys are probably cooking up that angle. Okay, so now that we got a friend in the building, numerous friends in the building, numerous friends in the building. Now maybe AQ can do a soft pitch to potentially get him on the show. I'm not gonna have AQ. AQ needs to worry about not getting COVID, and AQ needs to worry about football. Okay. Now, granted, how long until Tom Brady realizes that AQ Shipley is a specimen of a human that he has never met before and he is deeply intrigued and entertained by him? I think that's going to happen rather quickly. Like AQ is probably going to be quiet a little bit early, going to kind of figure out where he's at. But once AQ gets comfortable down there, I think Tom Brady's going to be like, what the hell is this thing? And I am pumped for that moment to happen. AQ also, by the way, great football player. Little man has leverage. And I think he knows that offense inside and out, and he's in the best shape of his life. The guy wouldn't even hit our buffet at the wedding because he was so worried about him being in shape or whatever. I'm happy for him. Very, very happy for him.
Is there a chance – we know AQ very well. We don't know Tom that well, but we have an idea of what Tom is as a human. Yeah. Is there a chance Tom absolutely despises AQ Shipley?
Nah, I don't think so. Everything I've heard about Tom, he will not hate AQ Shipley. I believe he will like. I think Tom, by the way, everybody talks about him being like one of the best teammates. Like he is. That's
one of
like,
the guys.
That's like the type of thing.
So he can put those personal differences aside for the will to win for the greater good of the team.
No, I don't think there'll be any personal difference. I think he will look at AQ and say,
guys.
what the hell is this thing? I honestly, which, by the way, a lot of people's reaction. You go, what the hell is this thing? And then you're like so intrigued, and then you enjoy him, you know? He's the type of guy that would let Adam Schefter break the news of his new signing instead of like some of his best friends or whatever.
But just wait when AQ orders 30 pizzas.
Well, yeah,
happens.
that's going to be tough.
Brady will hate that.
I don't know if Tom's going to be
He'll
all in
hate
with the
that.
30 pizzas in one night move. I don't know if he's going to be down with that. But AQ, that was a cheat day. He said, "Hey, that was my cheat day."
Yep.
He's down to 290 some pounds. I don't think he's ever been there for his entire career. I mean, he's feeling good.
Do you see AQ jumping on TB12?
No, I do. That is something I do not believe is going to happen.
Really? The immunity pills?
I'll tell you what. If Tom says, "Hey, AQ, you want to try this?" I would assume AQ will try it. But I'm not sure how long it will last. But hey, maybe this is a new AQ. Maybe this will be the best AQ. We're not 100% sure.
Well,
TB12 AQ.
Nick, to your point, and this is what Tom does. Tom will take AQ's personality traits, plug them into his algorithm in his head, and beep, boop, beep, boop. Oh, people expect me to be friends with this guy. I'll be friends with this guy.
All right. 19 minutes after the hour, I didn't know Tom's brain goes beep, boop, beep, boop.
All robots do.
You're an idiot. I'm very intrigued by that. I mean, we did know for numerous days. Oh, yeah? We just had to sit there. It was very difficult to sit there. But if I wasn't in the middle of a fight for my life there, I would assume I would have let it slip out at some point.
Probably.
But it was if you start putting the pieces together. When I was on Get Up like 2 months ago, I said, friends of mine that are free agents that are older are literally trying to get down to Tampa to ring chase. So I think this is becoming a new thing. So that was when this idea was, I think, floated that it could happen.
A hint.
And I don't know if that was just AQ hoping at that point, but I'm happy the guy's down there. It's where he wanted to be. He's pumped to be back with Bruce Arians. Loves Clyde Christensen. And that team looks like that offense is going to be good. I don't think he's expecting to do anything. I think he's just happy to be a part of it and like, let's go to work. Good for that round mound of man. Mm-hmm. He's not as so much round anymore. Still got those short arms, though, which is good for leverage. We're back on the other side. Eddie George joins us in 10 minutes. Probably going to take some phone calls during the break at youtube.com/The Pat McAfee Show. This is that show, and it is Tuesday, August 25th. Dun, 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 dun. Weekend sports viewership. Lakers, Portland, Saturday night, ABC, 3.8 million viewers. The Indy 500, Sunday, 3.6 million viewers.
Really?
Good for the Indy 500.
How about it?
Hey, it was a good race, too. Hey, good race.
Great race.
Ended on a caution, which people weren't excited about, but I mean, they didn't have an extra 2 hours to wait around. What are we going to do? Guy got slaughtered in the bucket of tires there. His car came in real hot, 200 some miles an hour.
Exploded into 1,000 pieces.
I don't know how they do. I don't know how they build cars to because it does blow
Explodes.
up, but somehow they maintain the capsule that the drivers are in. It makes no sense. A lot of fires from the brake fluid this past race, more so than in the past.
I don't know how every crash isn't catastrophic.
Me neither.
Like, really don't.
And by the way, you're not watching for that because there's humans in there, but when those crashes happen, you're like,
That's why I almost
fuck is that?
That's why I almost don't like watching it, because you are kind of like hoping to see that. No, for
Oh,
real.
Diggs, what? Listen to old grandstanding panda.
This guy?
Diggs.
What do you mean? No, seriously, it's like you don't want to see that, and then because if something really does happen to the guy, it's like, oh man,
We love
I
joking
can't
about
live this
brains
down.
getting splattered on the concrete. We don't love seeing it. We love joking about it. We don't love seeing it.
Thank you, well said.
It was a great race. Takuma Sato, two-time Indy 500 winner. That's massive. Clippers, Dallas, 3.3 million. PGA Northern on Sunday at CBS, 2.2. Boston, Tampa Bay registers at 1.7 million. Phillies, Braves, 1.1 million. Baseball doing well out there.
Champions League, too. You see
Dog
that right
shit
below?
game.
No.
Champions League final was $2 million, and that's just for the Spanish television audience.
Yeah, I mean,
Pretty good.
That's beating the fuck out of baseball.
Yeah.
Just one particular sector of humans watching double the entire world watching baseball. That's wild. That's tough for baseball, pal. Hey.
I mean, not really.
Baseball's dead.
No one
stinks.
gives a shit about the regular season. We're just waiting for the postseason.
Okay, you're just wasting time.
Yankees haven't played in fucking 2 weeks.
Let's go to Justin Downer in South Kakalaka. What's going on, Justin? Why haven't they played? COVID?
Teams that they're supposed to be playing have had outbreaks or have had like guys test
jeez.
positive.
Also good for the Yankees. They're hurt.
Yeah, they are very banged
Oh,
up
they're
right
just
now.
getting kind of a chill. Are they back at home then? If all these people are dying?
They play 30 games in the next 27 days. So,
No,
so
not good for the Yankees going into playoffs.
So
because
we'll
that's all
see.
that matters.
Well-
Justin, South Carolina, what's going on? That stinks for the Yankees.
They'll be fine.
They got to hope people get distracted by the pinstripes if they're going to be that fucking dog-tired going into the playoffs. What's going on, Justin? This guy stinks.
Justin.
Let's go to Andrew in Alabama. Andrew, what's going on? I do hear a human. I do hear a human. Mitt, what did you do?
What did you
Mitt?
do to the phones, Mitt?
Mitt,
what's going on?
do we even have these guys connected? Andrew, what's going on in Alabama?
I hear something.
Nothing much, Pat. I just got one question.
Data boy, Mitt. This is the first
Great
time.
work, Mitt.
It's the first time Mitt has got a phone through. I'm pumped about this.
Yeah, a lot of dead air there.
Andrew, what's going on, bub?
Nothing much, man. I got one question. Did you ever buy the naming rights for that field?
For my high school field?
Yes, sir.
Nah, I didn't do it. It's back on the block, I guess, though. It is back on the potential get into buying the name of the high school stadium that we
You
have.
were pitched recently, I believe, rather
Yeah,
aggressively.
I was. Well, both times I've been pitched have been rather aggressively. The one day was immediately after I was drafted. And I didn't know how to fucking punt yet. They told me the price, and I was like, well, I don't have any money right now. But I'm going to go buy an Escalade. Now it's back.
Summer is in full action, and we are thankful for our sponsor today, Manscaped, for keeping us fresh.
Shout out to Manscaped, by the way. Check this. Hey,
Yep.
check the shave.
Wow.
Check the shave. I missed right here.
Son of a gun.
I don't know if anybody can see that on TV. I missed right here, and I missed right here.
Looks pretty good, though.
Die.
Can't
Still
even
looks
tell.
good.
Well, the spray tan just kind of covers it up. By the way, we have diluted this the shade a little
It
bit.
does look a little different today.
Three face scrubs yesterday to try to get it off because my face appeared as if it had been dunked in like a orangish paint, and that was tough. And my eye holes were not. So
Like
it
an
was
Oompa
kinda-
Loompa.
Yeah, well, it did look like an Oompa Loompa, just a
Yeah.
little bit taller, but still a low center of gravity. And I will mess you up if I have to.
Well said. Listen, sun's out, bums out, and hopefully your pubes are not. Manscaped offers all the right tools to keep your hair groomed above and below the waist. Manscaped is dedicated to helping you level up your full body grooming game, and they actually just released their Shears 2.0 Nail Kit, which is the perfect add-on to their Lawnmower 3.0 or Perfect package. No one likes an ungroomed set of feet, fingers, and most importantly, balls. That's why they have forever changed the grooming game with their Perfect Package 3.0, which is an essential Lawnmower 3.0 trimmer that is water-resistant, cordless, and comes with a ton of other liquid formulations to round out your manscaping routine. This is the best trimmer on the market for those of you in need of a chest shave or a ball cleanup, and this third-generation trimmer features skin-safe technology to reduce manscaping accidents.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah!
Hell yeah.
You'll also find the Crop Reviver, a testy toner that's designed to give you a pep in your step. For a limited time, subscribers get 2 free gifts, the Shed Travel Bag and the patented high-performance reduced chafing Manscaped Boxer Briefs. Get 20% off and free shipping with the code PATM at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com and use code PATM. Summer is here. It's time to manscape.
Hey, incredible work there by you, Ty Schmidt, honestly. My mom just texted me her thoughts on buying the naming rights. I took a screenshot and sent that to the group. You guys can see what Sally McAfee thinks of that whole move. Seems like there's a potential long shot.
Sally Field.
Sally McAfee Field, maybe we
Yeah.
name that thing. Welcome back to the Pat McAfee Show, Tuesday, August 25th. Eddie George will be joining us here in a few. He's here right now. Oh, my God. Ladies and gentlemen, living legend, 4-time Pro Bowler, 2-time All-Pro, Heisman winner. His number is retired at Ohio State and at the Tennessee Titans. Ladies and gentlemen, financial advisor, I believe he does a lot of, and he'll be in front of about 400 books. Never sent me a jersey to wear after I lost my bet with him. Ladies and gentlemen, Eddie George.
Lies. I did sit in that jersey.
Well,
Jersey somewhere.
it must have got
You got a
lost.
nice, whoa. You got a nice little red tan going there, my man.
It's a spray tan, Eddie. This is a spray
Is
tan.
it?
Yeah, it's sad. It's a sad
You
situation.
haven't been late. First, well, I apologize. Nice, very nice.
Eddie! I gotta tan it. You know what I mean? You tan it, you look better. What do you apologize for?
Well, congratulations, man. I saw that you married or got engaged.
Yeah,
One, two?
I got married forever's a long time. I'm pumped up for it, Eddie. I'm pumped.
Man, congratulations. Welcome to the club, my man. I really feel bad for your wife, bro. I really do.
Everybody does. We got a bunch of cards that was basically like, congratulations to you guys. Sam, you're an angel. I don't know how you're going to pull this off, but yeah, my lady is she's the absolute best. I would assume, by the way, how long have you been married?
Me, 16 years.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah, listen, I'm a veteran, brother. I'm battle tested.
When'd you guys meet? Where'd you guys meet at?
Oh, man, we met in Orlando in 1994. Yeah. When were you born?
87. I was 7 whenever you and your bride met.
Yeah. So born in 19. Can you hear me okay?
Oh, yeah, you sound good.
Okay. Met in 94, became good friends through that period of time. She had a boyfriend. I was out doing my thing, and saw her again in 1995. After I won a Heisman, reconnected, lost touch again. Yeah. And then saw her again at the NBA All-Star game in New York City, 1997. She's in a fashion show, and long story short, we never stopped talking after we met at the bar. At the bar, we said, "Hey, we're meeting each other so often. We feel like we're connected. We feel like we're soulmates." And it's been that way ever since, man. So 23 years actually together, 16 married. So it's been great.
That's unbelievable. I mean, congratulations. My lady and I are hoping to do the same. We met at a bar one night when I asked her for 100 shots of tequila. So pretty similar situation. Let's talk about some sports here, Eddie. You're a legend in the football world, both college and in the NFL. Let's talk about, do you want to talk about Ohio State first, or you want to talk about the NFL first?
Listen, brother, wherever your heart wants to lead me, let's do it. Doesn't matter.
Okay, so let's talk about Ohio State then. North Dakota State just announced that they're going to have a one-off game against Central Arkansas to showcase Trey Lance, which is quarterback, who's an absolute superstar. Everybody knows Justin Fields was going to be a Heisman contender this year. He was a Heisman contender last year. A lot of people who know things about quarterbacks say that's actually the guy. This is going to be the guy, I think, in 10 years that people are going to say was the best quarterback out of this draft instead of Trevor Lawrence. If you're these guys at Ohio State, like Justin Fields, and you see that your schedule has been pushed to spring, what is your mindset? Are you immediately starting to train for the NFL?
Absolutely.
Yeah, you have to, right?
I mean, listen, I think you're training for the NFL at Ohio State's practices. I mean, that's what he's doing. He's preparing for the next level. Whether this was a pandemic year or without that, he was preparing for that. He has just the coach and Day to help him do that. You know, Day has an NFL background and all that good stuff. So yeah, he's definitely preparing for the NFL as we speak. Now, the question is will he play a college football game? I don't think so. I think it's smart that he just prepare for the draft. To think about playing in the spring at this point in time is kind of foolish, because you don't want to take on that pounding and then have a small. You don't know what life is going to be like in the springtime, around the draft, around when they're doing all the physicals and the combine stuff. So you got to get ready for the next level, and I think he's just going to do that. That's my personal opinion. That's what I would do if I was a guy that was projected to go in the top 5 or top 10, or even in the first 2 rounds. That's what I prepare for.
I agree. And Eddie, what pick were you? You were obviously early in the draft.
I was picked 14th. I was projected to go 7th. Went 14th. I was pissed off because I went 14th overall. Yeah.
Well, I was projected to go like 150. I went 222. and I was upset as well. But at 222, even if I was a senior, I'm not sure I'm going through that spring. Like, granted, punter, I could probably do it. Kicker, I could probably do it. But if I'm playing a position and I know that, A, they have film of me already, and I'm going to get workouts, because I think there's going to be a lot more workouts with NFL teams now for colleges because of the situation, not being able to see it. It'd be hard for me not to be like, hey, I'm not going to play this spring whenever the draft is right there. So I think that is the smart move. And now that we talk about the spring schedule, How do you think we'll talk about the spring football season years down the road? Because you got the SEC, the ACC, and the Big 12. They're going to play. It seems like they are going to play. They are very confident they're going to play. Now you got the Big 10 and the Pac-12 playing in the spring. They've already announced. How do you think we'll talk about this later on down the road? Because how do you know who is the best? There's going to be these conversations, or is this just going to be a wash, you think, whenever we talk about it?
It's going to be a wash. I mean, this is the first time I think anyone's ever experienced anything like this, where you have some conferences playing, other conferences not playing, kind of like a split year. It's not going to be a real national champion. I'm curious to find out how the Heisman is going to be handled, some of the awards that are going to be given out. Well, do you give out two different Heismans? I mean, like what does that look like? Personally, I think we need college football. I think just from a morale standpoint, just what we've been through as a country with the pandemic moving forward, but it has to be done in a responsible way. It has safety first. So that's what I think. But overall, when you look at the football season, it'll be something to watch on television. It'll be entertaining, but in terms of it being like with College Game Day and the game of the week, and you have all the teams on slate, you have a full schedule. You're not going to get the full jolt of the college football season. It's going to be something like we're watching. Okay, this is just like a glorified preseason game, where in the end may not mean anything. So I'll take anything at this point in time, but I don't think it's going to be the same weight that we all come to love about college football.
How did you feel about some of the Big Ten schools that wanted to play? And there was this conversation, and I don't know if we started it. I kind of feel terrible if we did, and then people had to answer it. But I assume we thought, like a lot of other people, when the SEC and the ACC and the Big 12 were like, hey, we're going to play. In the Big 10 and the Pac-12 were like, well, we're not going to play. But then there was a lot of coaches that came out and athletic directors that even came out and were like, we're going to try to exhaust every opportunity to play this fall. I thought there was a chance, like, okay, Ohio State coming down in the SEC for this fall. We got this going on. And then that got shot down very quickly by the powers that be because the amount of money that they think they would lost. Did you think about that potentially being an option, or did you know that the money would get in the way of all of that?
I think the money and the big L word, liability, comes into play.
Okay.
A lot of universities can get sued if a kid comes down, let's say hypothetically with COVID, they didn't sign off the waiver, or I think that comes into play as well. And I think in terms of the whole conference, they didn't want to go down that road. I think they figured it would be safer just to cancel the season altogether than to go ahead and move forward. I mean, hell, we're still playing high school football. We're still being able to move forward. So I don't know if it's a situation where they said, hey, we're really looking out for the kids' safety, or we're looking out for our pockets in the end. So I think it comes down to the money, in my opinion.
And we're obviously only looking at this from a meathead sports side. We understand that the health and safety, that is from somewhere else. We're talking about it strictly from a sports standpoint. So we have to clarify that every time we talk about this, because at some point somebody on the internet goes, well, who cares who wins the Heisman if somebody – it's like, we get that. Okay, let's go ahead and eliminate the fact of the save. Let's talk strictly meathead football stuff here. Okay, let's move to the NFL. You just talked about high school football. High school football is happening. I'm getting highlights sent to me on Twitter from high school football players. The NFL is happening. They said they had 53,800 tests or something like that.
58,397.
58,397 tests, and they had 0 confirmed positives. And then that one day they had 77 false positives out of that thing. If you were an NFL player, how hard do you think it would be to be able to keep yourself self-quarantined throughout an entire NFL season? They're having massive success right now, and I'm very pumped up about it, and I hope the energy is contagious and it continues. But this is going to be tough, I think. This is going to be very, very difficult, Eddie.
Well, it is going to be difficult, but if they follow the protocols and if you have things set up to where you have loved ones that are tested prior to them seeing you, I think that's a valuable option. But the NFL has done a masterful job of managing this. The protocols have been in place, much like the NBA. They've done a great job, and it's been very successful what they've done in Orlando, very entertaining to watch. And we're not hearing any cases, but if everyone has the discipline to avoid large crowds, avoid parties, stay safe, and really think about others, not be selfish in this matter, we can have a wonderful season. And I think we'll begin to see as we move along. Hopefully, we can get fans back in the stands in some capacity. Maybe it's not full, not full, but for some teams like Indianapolis, they're not going to have a packed stadium anyway. So they're used to having following quarantine rules. So that some is already built in for some teams.
Yeah, the
So,
tarps you're saying, down in Tennessee. That's what you're talking about. Did the Tennessee Titans, when you were there, did you have any contract disputes with them? I forget if we talked about that. Was there any?
Yeah. Toward the end, it got kind of ugly. They wanted me to take a pay cut. Willing to take a pay cut. I said, well, how deep of a pay cut? I mean, that just depends. I mean, so the fact of the matter is, it didn't end well. Went to Dallas for 1 year and played with the star on the helmet and under Bill Parcells. It didn't end very well for me at all.
Well, I mean,
that's
on me for bringing that up. What I'm talking about is next offseason, there's like 11 premier running backs that are hitting the market. Like every running back that you basically can think of right now off the top of your head that's like, oh, that guy's a great running back, he's going to be a free agent next offseason. So it's going to be very much like the quarterback carousel that happened this past offseason. There were some big name free agents. Dalvin Cook was in the middle of contract negotiations. They said they're going to cut it off. He was potentially, there was a chance he wasn't going to work out or anything like that. And then aside from the running back situation, you look at what Melvin Ingram's doing, where he's doing like a hold in, where he's going because the CBA says they can't find him if he's at practice, but he's not practicing. Whenever guys like hold out for their business sense, I think the locker room is like, hey, that guy's got to take care of his business. Like if he's going to get his money, he's going to get his money. This whole hold in thing where they show up but they don't do anything, I think that is a very, very interesting. That's a very interesting
dynamic.
Yeah,
I think he tries to save face by being there, but also saying I need a long-term contract. And given where the running back position is and the optics on the position and the market on the position, they don't have any leverage.
Yeah.
Derrick Henry got a deal that he felt comfortable signing, unless you were at McAfee. They figured out a wonderful deal for him to sign to get maximum dollars. So the market for the running backs isn't a robust one, and nor do you really have the leverage because they're looked upon as a guy that's dime a dozen. 10 free agent running backs that are going to hit the market, and I guarantee you, it's going to be a organizational friendly deal if they go back to the organization. It's not going to be a win-win with the running back wants to get. So we'll have to wait and see.
How do you say? I wasn't able to separate it. Like whenever I got into the negotiations and some things were said about me, like I was the piece on Pawn Stars that they walked in with. Like this was me. And like, hey, this is what we think. We think this.
Yeah.
I wasn't able to handle it. I got like when somebody said about me, I'm like, man, you don't even know. Like who are you to die? Like it's hard to separate that entire.
Listen, in business, you got to take your emotions out of it.
Oh.
And you're talking about a 27, 26-year-old kid. It's hard for him to take the emotions out of business because guess what? Money is on the line. They're going to try to get you at the cheapest rate possible while you're trying to maximize your dollar value, your future value, and all of that. So you got to allow, the emotions to come out of it. If you can compartmentalize your emotions from your business sense, then that's great. But some guys can't do it because you put so much energy and focus in your craft and you believe that, hey, I'm the best. I need to get every dollar guaranteed. Well, it don't work that way. It don't work that way. So there's a win-win. There's compromise. You gotta figure out what that is and what you're comfortable with taking home, in terms of the contract, in terms of the guarantees, the longevity, and how you're viewed. You know what I'm saying? So that's why these kids got to understand this is a business first, bro. It ain't about the rah-rah team, go Colts or Titans. I mean, you can be wearing one uniform one day to the next. It's about maximizing your platform, your dollar value, and getting in and getting out healthy. So that's what it's all about.
Yeah, and winning, by the way, brings all of that, is what is always the message. That's like how you kind of balance. That's how the coaches kind of balance the business and the personal side. They're like, hey, if you win, there's enough to go around. And then there's guys looking around like, well, isn't that interesting? Because I feel like we just won, and there ain't nothing coming around this way. I mean, it is it is a interesting thing, especially with this year, with the amount of guys that are going to have to buy in to do the whole thing. I'll be intrigued to see how this affects business and everything moving forward. Speaking of business, how's your business doing? I'm not rich enough to be able to have you manage my money.
You are, man. I think is that Peyton Manning over your shoulder?
AJ Hawk, that's your guy.
AJ Hawk. Okay, I couldn't tell. Okay, I was gonna say you got the spokesperson for Nationwide up there, but anyway.
No, just AJ Hawk, spokesperson for Ohio.
Oh, nice. This is actually going really well. The markets are doing great. My clients are happy with where they are, expanding on the business, looking to my wife actually got into the business as well from an entrepreneurial side, helping individuals get into the insurance business with really no type of experience. So we're building out agencies.
Nice.
Or she is under that umbrella, and because there's high employment, people are getting furloughed. They're looking for new options. This is an awesome way for them to bring in supplemental income. And if they find success, they can come on full time and really build out their own agencies and become business owners. So we're supporting business owners at this particular time through our platform.
Well, Eddie, you're a good man, great running back.
Appreciate it, my man.
If you would have played for the Colts, I think a lot better potential, outcome for the entire career. But you're a Titans legend. And before we let you go, you are a businessman. They say a lot of business gets done on a golf course. Your golf game was called into question out there at Lake Tahoe on numerous times. What happened? Was that a bad weekend? Was that a bad round, or is that the normal?
You know what? It was just an all-around bad experience. I had a wonderful time.
Good people.
And my first time playing out there, and a couple things I've learned. I didn't bring a caddy with me. I thought I can go play country club golf out there, with my buddies, and I'm thinking, okay, there'll be some leniency here, right? There'll be a breakfast ball. I hit my first tee shot 50 yards into the woods. They're like, well, you have to go find it and play that. I can't just drop. It was a penalty. Man, that's what I realized. I'm playing golf. I played golf for the first time in my life and got my ass handed to me. But that's why I have on my attire right now as I'm getting ready for Tahoe to come back and beat Charles Barkley.
There
it is.
Well, we hope you do that. We can't thank you enough for joining us. Every conversation, I feel like I learned something. Ladies and gentlemen, absolute football legend and financial guru. Ladies and gentlemen, Eddie George. Thank you, Eddie. All right, we got to get to a break. We'll be back on the other side radio-wise. I love talking to that dude.
He's the man.
Hey, by the way, when Eddie George was going, Eddie George was all you talked about. We're back on the other side to wrap up hour one. We got Dan Orlovsky, Cliff Averill, and AJ Hawk in hour two. Be a friend, tell a friend. Let's have a good day. This is the Pat McAfee Show. There's a grown man with face paint on. So you're Big Nut.
I am, and you're Little Nut.
Well, I've had a few of those in my life. Hey, I'll tell you what, Big Nut. I hope to find you one day on my wedding night. Big Nut!
Little Nut!
You did a great job, too. The lines are straight. No DUI problem there. You're really doing a great job here, sir. Hey, Big Nut, I love everything you're about, bud.
Because we are going to win the game.
He just spit in my mouth while saying that. The most likely team to make the college football playoff is the team that is in Columbus. He said khakis are way too close to that team from up north. If you don't put black pants on right now, you're going to get booed out of Columbus. So I want the black. Makes me look thin. And whenever I say two letters, the place goes crazy. Oh, wait! Yeah! Ladies and gentlemen, Eddie George. That offense, though, led by Justin Fields. He has 41 touchdowns accounted for, only 1 turnover. I don't know how he isn't the Heisman favorite right now.
Well, he certainly has a chance to make a stick at that today, certainly next week.
I was supposed to be in Penn State, David Ryan. And Mike McQueary told me I wasn't Penn State material. Okay, Herbie was your quarterback. He was a senior. You were a freshman. What was he like as a teammate?
Oh, he was great, man. Big shoulder pads. Kurt could run for days back in the day.
We have a guy that can break every single bone in my body. Stipe, how you doing, boss man? They're down 6-1. She wants to flex on the gram. He says, lady, we are getting slaughtered by the Pittsburgh Penguins. No.
Do I do a chair? I thought I need to do this.
Welcome back to the Pat McAfee Show. Tuesday, August 25th, 51 minutes after the hour. Just had a conversation with Eddie Judge. Eddie Judge. He brought up a good question. Are they going to give, because he's a Heisman guy, so he does the Heisman voting. Are they going to give 2 Heismans? Will they give a fall season Heisman to the SEC, ACC, and the Big 12, and then a spring Heisman to the Pac-12 and Big 10? Because shout out to Justin Fields winning the spring Heisman.
Good job, Justin.
I don't know if anybody in the Pac-12 is going to be able to catch him, but boy, I'll be interested to see how this whole thing works out. We have not heard a lot of news, by the way, from the ACC, the SEC, or the Big 12. Last week, it was cooking pretty heavily because the Big 10 and the Pac-12 canceled. 2 weeks ago, the last 2 weeks, it's been big. This week, it's kind of slowed down a little bit. Nobody knows what's going on. Kirk Herbstreit told us that it feels like they're kicking the can down the road to make the decision later. It's like, what will the SEC, the ACC, and the Big 12 do? I guess the University of Alabama has had a lot of cases. One lady tweeted that they had more cases than the entire country of Norway. How deep did she have to go in the Rolodex of countries to find Norway's number to compare it to Tuscaloosa, Alabama? But I would understand that the COVID cases could be spreading on university campuses just because of the way university campuses operate. I got an email. Not a DM, an email from somebody that is at the University of Alabama, a random. They actually emailed Phil, and then Phil forwarded me the email. They said that what they have seen is the complete opposite of what we've been talking about whenever it comes to those photos of those Tuscaloosa bars. He said that it's actually getting pretty well regulated, and people are getting fines if they're out and doing things. So maybe these universities are also cranking up the, like, hey, we need to do this, especially in SEC. Like, hey, you want football down here, boy?
Yeah.
Get your ass out of that bar. Get back in your apartment. I feel like if whatever the motivation has to be to get people to do what they got to do so we can have football, let's go ahead and do that. I'm excited to see how the SEC, the ACC, and the Big 12 pull this off. But if they do, hey, that's good for business, baby. That's good for business.
Hell yeah.
53. By the way, obviously, we want everybody to be safe.
Right.
Don't know. We
Health
have
is
to.
important.
We understand. We are talking strictly from a sports world. Dan Orlovsky kicks off hour 2 with us on the radio. YouTube, we'll do some YouTube questions and some phone calls during this break here. It is Tuesday, August 25th. It's a great day. Back still sore. Neck is still a little bit sore. Foot still sore. But, hey, we're living, baby, and we're having a Tuesday. We're back on the other side. 1-833-622-3331. This is the Pat McAfee Show. All right, good check mark there on Eddie George Zito saying, we got one Don.
The baby Z.
2 to
One
go.
Don.
I don't know if we should do a red check because it seems like it's like
The wrong answer.
Like a green one.
You know what I mean? I think maybe a green check should be it.
Or a
I
blue
love
one.
green.
Yeah, you love green?
I love the color green.
Feels like you love a lot of things that are just echoed to you right beforehand. But the
Sure, coming soon.
But you also did. Should be out now, by the way. That's one of my favorite. I can't wait to wear that. These shorts that I'm wearing right now are hitting our stores, I think, probably within the next, year and a half or so.
Yeah, probably. 2020.
And this might be the best thing that we've ever created is these shorts. I haven't taken them off. I've worn them for 2 days straight now. I took them off through the Stairmaster because I didn't want to sweat on them. By the way, there was a glitch in the Matrix yesterday on the Stairmaster. I put out an over-under poll on my Instagram story for 110 floors, and I decided to do a time goal instead of a floor goal, and I did 22 minutes. And I had to do the math for how many floors per minute I was doing with how many minutes I had left. And I realized with the last 4 minutes that I was going to have to pick it up a little bit. I went all the way up to level 20. For the last 4 minutes, I was sprinting basically up these steps, dying. Because you can't let the underbettors ever fucking win it.
Never.
Nope.
Can't do it. Especially after what happened on Saturday where, aside from that loss, I'm still undefeated in wrestling, which people somehow forget about this entire thing. But then all of a sudden I sprint, I finish the thing. I'm hanging on the thing basically. Very tired at this moment. And the screen pops up like, here's the amount of calories you burn. Congratulations. 470 calories. Here's the amount of steps per minute you took. Congratulations. And then it went floors, 109 floors. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? So literally, if I would have went up to level 20 about 15 seconds before I did, I get to 111 or whatever. Instead, now I got to take an L on the over-under bets. That won't happen, by the way. No. But a lot of people thought Fat Pat was back, Jack. Turns out, no, right back on that Stairmaster. I did continue said cheat day, though. It creeped into yesterday. I mean, when you got that much food still laying around from yesterday, how do you not finish off that Domino's pizza that was a little bit cold? How do you not take a bite out of the lava cake that's still left? How do you not eat the cookies and the Reese's that are just scattered around the kitchen as if there was the beaches of Normandy just stormed? I mean, it was a battle on Sunday, and I had to go ahead and finish it off. But I decided if I do the cardio, at least I can justify eating like a fat ass a little bit, although 470 calories is not enough to burn off anything that I fucking ate yesterday.
I mean, you are down. You're in a good spot. So I think if you have some of those things every once in a while, you're fine because all you got to do is maintain. All you got to do is maintain.
I agree.
Plus,
Just
fight
maintain.
week, cheat week. Give yourself
You
a
don't
little
have to
time.
lose
You
anymore,
got
just
just 7
maintain.
days of fighting.
You're right. And you know what? I enjoy being in shape and being able to fit into clothes and stuff like that. Like, there's an entire new part of my closet that I've been able to dive into.
Nice.
It's been very nice. It's been staring at me for a long time. I've been able to do it. But boy, when that lava cake touches your lips and you take big shits, it's a cheat day. Justin in South Carolina. It has been problematic, though.
I can imagine.
Big old dumps.
In the basement. Yeah, it's been problematic in the basement, what I've been doing to myself with these carbs. Justin, what's going on in South Kakalaka? This is twice now this guy's been on, huh?
Yeah, the first time Mitt kind of messed up the connection.
Yeah! Just bury Mitt. What do you want to talk about, brother?
I do have a question, but first I wanted to say like how amazing you and the boys are. Last year I was paralyzed, and I watched your show doing physical therapy at the VA in Augusta, and you guys are a bright spot to every day. So just you guys are more important than you know.
Oh, fuck! Hell yeah, Justin. Justin, by the way, thanks for your service. I would assume if you're doing rehab at the VA, appreciate you what you're doing and what you have done. And I thank you for watching. And the fact that you allowed us to be a part of your battle there, we can't thank you enough for letting us be a part of that. We're a bunch of idiots, and we appreciate you, Justin. And by the way, you're a badass, brother. I hope you very much understand it. Hey, when you look in the mirror, I hope you say, I see a bad mother that's going to take no crap from nobody. Appreciate you, Justin.
And it's funny because when you said a while back that you could last, was it 90 seconds in the UFC?
Uh-huh.
I was like, I think I could punt further in feet than you could last.
Hey,
but
by the way,
thank you. After watching what you did to Adam Cole, cry baby. I doubt it.
Well, you got to remember, Justin, my entire plan was I thought I could stay away from big hands for a minute and a half.
That is true. That is true.
Yeah, because the people started taking it out of context with what I said and started saying, Pat McAfee thinks he could last longer than a minute in an actual fight. And then I got a couple like MMA guys that were like, I'd knock you out so quick. I was like, that's not what I said. What I said was I think I could outrun you
could run for that long. Yeah.
Hey, Justin, we got to get back to radio. Just know that we appreciate the hell out of you, brother.
All right, thank you, man.
See ya. Badass dude, right?
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. But I said I could run for a minute around it. Maybe not in the apex because it's smaller. Welcome back to the Pat McAfee Show. Hour 2 kicks off in spectacular fashion. A quarterback who talks on ESPN with great hair and one of the new hosts of NFL Live, which is on at 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, Monday through Friday on ESPN, will be joining us here momentarily to talk about some of the things that were said on ESPN about. Oh, he already changed the check. Look at that. Zeno, unbelievable. Unbelievable. We will have Dan Orlovsky joining us here in, momentarily to talk about all things happening in the NFL. I believe he's on right now. Ladies and gentlemen, one of the new hosts of NFL Live, which kicked off a brand new season yesterday, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every single day on ESPN. Ladies and gentlemen, former teammate of mine, guy with great hair, Dan Orlovsky. Why do you have a hat on? Why do you have a hat on?
I just got done out.
Wow.
Whoa.
Wow. You look like you're on the cover of that. What's that Netflix thing, the beach thing?
GQ?
No, the
Outer Banks.
Outer Banks. That's the hair for the guy from Outer Banks right there with that flow. You look unbelievable.
Good chain, too.
Oh, look at him shredded too with the traps. Orlovsky, let's go.
For the rest of it.
I look like Zac Efron in Baywatch right now.
Well, you kind of, you're giving yourself a lot of credit there, but I agree, you do. Congratulations on NFL Live, man. The show is awesome. I can't wait to watch it.
Thank you, bud. Honored to be on. I think it's a super cool crew. You've worked with a couple of the people, obviously Marcus, and have you worked with Mina before?
Yeah, I did her podcast. I think she's incredibly brilliant.
Mina's super smart. She makes some sense in numbers as good as anybody. Marcus is as funny as anyone on television, excluding yourself.
No, I agree with that, by the way. Swagoo's funny. I died
and
of
Laura,
Swagoo.
fantastic host. So I'm excited for it, man. I'm really excited for it.
Have you guys been prepping for this? Like, do you do Zoom calls, like team meetings? And how? Because ESPN, big deal, obviously. ESPN obviously takes a lot of things very seriously. NFL Live is one of the staples of ESPN. Yeah. How has the whole process of building that show been? You guys just Zoom call each other, FaceTime each other, text each other? What is Snapchat?
Yeah, MySpace. When they kind of announced this is the show and that's what it's going to be, we all kind of started a group text. I've known Marcus since we got drafted together, so we have a 15-plus year relationship of a friendship. And then I've worked with Mina and obviously Laura, been on Get Up. So we have this group chat that is 70% buffoonery and 30% work. And hey, throwing out ideas and what do we want to talk about, and then. We were actually supposed to start last week, the 17th, but the NBA came in, playoffs, and so they pushed us a week. So we did a little bit of a practice Zoom just because Mina and Marcus are remote and I'm in studio. So just working on those kind of technology kind of mishaps or hiccups.
Flows.
Yeah, flow. Yeah. Well used word.
Yeah, thank you.
And then, honestly, we wake up, we start sending out texts for our ideas for the day. And then we'll get on a call at around 11:30, 12 o'clock to kind of what's the show going to be and then go from there.
So when you're on Get Up and a guy like Tannenbaum, who I like, by the way, I had a problem with him early because of what he said about Tua and the top 5 pick for the Dolphins, and he kind of skewed my take because I thought he knew what he was talking about. Turns out he was just out there doing his thing, thinking aloud. But whenever you have a guy like Tannenbaum on your show that you're alongside, and he's like, Ben Roethlisberger, this guy who, has a couple Super Bowls, he does all this stuff, and he says he might be the 4th best quarterback just in the AFC North. That is a very, very interesting take. Is it hard not to, because you're in the ESPN family and you like Tannenbaum, not to just text that NFL Live thing and be like, okay, this is where we start and end the show, is Tannenbaum saying this? Is that hard not to do that?
Yeah, of course it is, and I like getting into it with people too.
Oh, yeah.
Listen, I have said silly things, stupid things on television before, and been absolutely massacred for them, rightfully so.
No.
Shocking, breaking news here. I think Mike T thinks because of COVID and the unique offseason that maybe the divisions have morphed together and there's more than 4 teams in the AFC. Maybe he thinks the AFC North, AFC South got together type thing. Here's my thing on it, Pat. I got to be a good teammate at times.
Have to be. Good guy.
Got to be a good teammate. And, I know Mike T personally. He's a super nice dude. I absolutely think the comment is ridiculous. And totally incorrect and misguided, but I got to be a good teammate.
Okay, let's talk about that AFC North. Joe Burrow, rookie, coming in. A lot of weight on his shoulders. They spend some money in the free agency. Trey Waynes gets hurt. He's one of the guys they bought, so it seems like the Bengals are going to bangle no matter what. What do you expect out of Joe Burrow, rookie quarterback? And you're talking COVID-19, no OTAs, no walkthroughs, really. It can't be that high of expectation. I assume he has very high expectation, but I think anybody that's been in the NFL knows this is going to be a very tough road for Joe Burrow, especially in that AFC North with the defenses in there.
Yeah, I totally disagree. I think the whole offseason is completely overblown type thing. If you look at, first of all, rookie quarterbacks in the last 4 or 5 years have come in and performed better than in traditional fashions. Then the question becomes, well, why is that the case? 1, the rules benefit offensive players, and 2, coaches understand the use of space so much more. So this 1 yard throw becomes an 8-yard completion. So, the rookie quarterback performance is a little bit different than in the old days. Second of all, if you're trying to see what's going to help a rookie quarterback play well, I look at 3 things. What's his scheme? Who are his people? And then what are his traits? Well, first of all, his scheme is super quarterback friendly. It's the Mike Shanahan, Gary Kubiak scheme. It doesn't stress quarterbacks mentally. It is, hey, this is our play. You're going to get to the line of scrimmage. We're going to play fast. It's going to be a ton of play action. And I'll get super nerdy for everyone here. When you play drop back football as a quarterback, meaning no play fake, right? When you play drop back football, you got to know the coverage before the snap, because you have to know what side of the field you are more than likely working. When you play action football, you don't really need to know the coverage. It is turn your back, play fake, snap your head, and then find your guy. Is that receiver open? Is that you got to find people rather than know the coverage. So it's reactionary. 2, they got dudes in Cincinnati: AJ Green, Tyler Boyd, Ross, Gio Bernard, Joe Mixon. I would say Jonah Williams is the best offensive lineman that's come out in 3 or 4 years of the draft. And he's back healthy, their ex-first rounder from Alabama. And then the third thing, Burrow just doesn't panic. A lot of rookie quarterbacks struggle because they panic. He just doesn't panic. So I think Burrow is going to be really good this year. I obviously think he's going to be really good for his career. So I'm a little bit don't make too much of the offseason.
Okay, I respect it, and I like the fact that as soon as I said something, you go, well, I disagree. Let me tell you why. It's kind of the Dan Orlovsky School of Journalism right there. Let's talk about a quarterback that's brand new to a system that everybody's having rave reviews for. Nobody knew what was going to happen. This guy was unemployed for 86 days, had no team. Somehow Bill Belichick and Ernie pull him into the Patriots. He's signed at minimum guarantee or whatever with upside up to $7.5 million. Whatever the case is, it's insane. Cam Newton has been, I guess, spectacular up for the New England Patriots. Did anybody expect anything differently? Did you expect anything differently? And what did you think of the people that were like, hey, Jared Stidham's going to start over Cam Newton?
Yeah. What?
Yeah. It was stupid.
I mean, okay.
It was stupid.
Like, the last time we saw Cam Newton healthy, you know this, he was playing MVP football, okay? Yes, he was playing bad when he tore the muscles in his shoulder. Yeah, duh. So, like, yeah, he struggled in that time. Listen, Jared Stidham is a young player that probably has some promise, and if he had to play this year, he would probably be okay. But we're talking about Cam Newton. We're talking about one of the greatest quarterbacks in the last 10 years of the NFL, one of the biggest freaks athletic we've ever seen, paired with a coach and an offensive coordinator that think differently. They don't think inside the box. They think outside the box.
Oh, I see.
He's notorious. Bill Belichick is notorious for don't tell me what the player can't do. Tell me what the player can do. Cam Newton is a perfect player of don't tell me what he can't do. No, Cam's not super accurate. He's not the most accurate quarterback ever. So what? He doesn't need to be. Guess what? Tom Brady's not 6'4", 300 pounds either. So like, it's a good match. He's going to make them better. Cam's going to play well. They're not a playoff football team, but Cam's going to make them better. He's their easy starter.
So on record right here, I don't know if you've said this before, maybe on NFL Live, which airs at 4 o'clock Eastern Daylight Time every single day on ESPN. Dan Orlovsky is one of the new hosts. Tuesday, August 25th, right here, Pat McAfee Show. Dan Orlovsky, good hair, fresh out of a workout, says that the Patriots will not make the playoffs this year.
Yeah, the Patriots not a playoff team.
Ooh, Dan Orlovsky.
Let me tell you why.
Let me tell you something. Dan Orlovsky thinks Bill Belichick can get an MVP-like quarterback and stink at the same damn time. That is what you just said. And Dan Orlovsky says they stink. Okay. Go ahead and tell us why, Dan, please. I would like to hear this one.
All right, last year the New England Patriots were 0-4 against the 4 best teams in the AFC. Number 2, the last 8 games of the season, the Buffalo Bills, who are also in the AFC East Division, had the better record, had a better offense, had a better defense. The Buffalo Bills have gotten better this year, this offseason. The Patriots have gotten significantly worse. Cam Newton is a lesser player than Tom Brady. They lost certainly one of their best offensive linemen, Marcus Cannon, has opted out. They have a bottom 5 group when it comes to skill players. In the NFL right now, the really good offenses, other than really good quarterbacks and play callers, you know what they're notorious for? Having a bunch of really good skill players. The Patriots don't.
Wow.
They're going to be reliant on 2 young tight ends that they drafted this year in the draft. They lost 6 starters off of their defense. 6. So you're talking about a team that is worse than they were last year, that struggled against the best teams in the AFC last year. They got worse within their division while the division leader got better, and they play the toughest schedule in football. Now, everyone's going to go this. Yeah, but they've won the AFC East 11 years in a row. You're right, they have. They have won 0 games playing this style of football. They got to play a different style of football this year. And it's not just getting Cam to play well. It's getting everyone in the offense to play well and then play winning football. I don't see it.
Wow. You made an excellent case there, I guess. I mean, the way you shaped that made you sound right, but I can feel every human in Boston just going, yeah, keep it going, Dan.
Yep.
Hey, keep it going, Dan. That's what we live for. That's what
I just want to remind people, you and I sat at a desk last year, and I said, this is the worst offense the Patriots have had since 2003. You immediately snapped back to me and said, they won the Super Bowl in 2003. And I said, they stunk last year.
Yeah, but I wasn't going to go on TV and say it because I've been a part of games where the Patriots have beat me by 50. So I am not, I just have, I have that, I can't get out there and be like, oh, this team stinks. And then I just have to go to my phone and it's like, oh, this team stinks, huh? Well, here's highlights of you running the worst fake punt in the history of the NFL against the Patriots. I'm just not about that. I feel like this is when the Patriots strive the most, but the way you laid that out there, you like the Buffalo Bills, huh? I listened to Sean McDermott mic'd up the other day. A lot of clapping. I did not know he was that big of a clapper. I mean, we're talking like intense. Here we go. A lot of clapping. The entire mic'd up session was him clapping and saying the same thing. I'm like, oh, so the team does not trust the social media team right here. It was literally the same thing on repeat for the whole thing.
Yeah, I feel like that was most of my career though as well. Like if you ever got game tape of me at a game, I'd be like, Good ball, Matthew.
Keep spinning it. Keep spinning it.
Good shot, dude.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, this guy, 4 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. By the way, it's not Eastern Standard Time anymore right now. Did you know that?
Yes. Yeah, no, I do now. Everything you say is gospel, so.
No, because I said EST, which is Eastern Standard Time. Turns out because we moved the clock, we're actually EDT now. You bounce from.
Oh, that's a real thing?
I guess. I don't know. I was told by somebody who's much smarter than I am that was right. So maybe carry that into your life. You're welcome. What's on tap for NFL Live today? You guys talking anything awesome?
Yeah, we'll talk a bunch of, Buda Baker just got signed.
Big money, 15 mil. Jamal Adams got to be pissed.
Right. So, yeah, big time. Is he overpaid? How does the highest paid safety in the NFL not have interceptions? I dispute that. So, why is it important to pay a guy like that, especially I'm going to talk about it from an offensive perspective. We'll talk about that. I think we're going to talk about the NFC West. I think the 49ers in a little bit of trouble with their lack of receivers.
A lot of injuries.
That's got to be somewhat concerning. So we'll talk about that a little bit. I think we'll get into, how our buddy, more than my buddy, your buddy, Andrew Luck retired a year ago in one day. How have the Colts somehow gotten back to what they were almost with Andrew, where
you like Phillip Rivers? Yeah, you like Phillip Rivers. I've been seeing clips of him. I like what I'm seeing from him mic'd up. I like the throws that they're showing. I don't know him, though. I know nothing about him.
I think Phillip's going to play really good. If you watch last year, he struggled. Their offensive line was really bad. Obviously not an issue in Indy. Offensive line was really bad. He's going to have a ton of time. Like, for me, the Colts are all about Michael Pittman. If Michael Pittman Jr. is a dog, like some second-round receivers have been, the Colts are going to be a big-time problem for the AFC.
Well, especially if that helps out T.Y., because T.Y. has been the focal point of every defense. So if he can get open a little bit, T.Y. is a weapon as well. Dan, can't wait to watch. Congratulations on getting your own show, especially a staple show like that. Good luck to all of you. I appreciate all of you, ladies and gentlemen. Dan Orlovsky.
Hey, boy, Dan.
Hey, boy,
Patrick.
Yes, sir?
Before I go, I wanted to have a serious moment.
I love those.
And I'm an emotional person, so
I'm not.
Listen, man, you inspire me. I've said this to you personally and privately, but you do. I think a lot of us people are word plays. We say we want to live every day and say we want to attack every day. You do, man. And watching you this weekend was a lot of fun, but also it convicts me. It convicts me to go, man, this guy, he lives what he says. You inspire me, dude. I think you're one of the best people. So keep trucking, because if you're doing it to me, you're doing it to a lot of people, brother. So I'm proud of you. I love calling you a friend, and you're the best, dude. Keep killing life,
man,
bro.
Dan, that means a lot. I appreciate you, Dan. Thank you for that. I'm just trying to keep up with your handsome ass. Ladies and gentlemen, Dan Orlovsky. Thank you for that, dude. I appreciate you, man. All right, let's get to a break here for the radio folks. We'll do some YouTube questions during the break. YouTube.com/The Pat McAfee Show. We're on the road to 1 million. We're at 912,000 subscribers. Once we get to 1 million, we're going to have a massive giveaway. Be a friend. Tell a friend. Shout out Dan Orlovsky. That's very nice of him, man. Very, very nice of him. And the issue with me is if I say I'm going to do something, I literally have to do it, because if not, I feel like, why am I even saying something? And it turns out that you don't have to live that way, is what I've learned.
No.
But it just feels like it's gotten me here. It'll get me into some trouble at some point. Almost broke my foot on some steel stairs, to be honest with you. 15 minutes after the hour, we're back on the other side radio. This is the Pat McAfee Show, Tuesday, August 25th. Nick Morato's going to take a pee. He just left the door. He turned right. Now he's making a left. Oh, my God. He's sprinting through the office. Going left into the bathroom. Now he is probably trying to jiggle. You take it one time. You're going to get it out. Nick Morato almost done with the urine. He skipped out of here.
And he's back.
He had to go pretty bad. What's going on, Dix?
Connor was absolutely disgusted.
I am disgusted, but it's fine.
When Orlovsky said that Michael Pittman Jr. was a key to the Colts offense.
Yeah, what was that all about?
Well, because he brings up, first of all, he's a rookie, right? So he hasn't played a snap in the NFL. And he brings up how the Patriots have rookie tight ends, and that hurts them. And then he brings up how the Colts have a rookie wide receiver, and that helps them. So it's like, okay, well, I love what you're saying. You're a great guy. Fuck you. Great guy, though. Great guy. Fuck you.
A bit hypocritical, you're saying.
A bit hypocritical. He doesn't bring up how, Darius Butler last week said the Patriots have the #1 secondary in the NFL. So that might help a little bit if teams like
hold
Buffalo.
on. Did he say that before Patrick Chung opted out?
Yeah.
He
This
did.
is just
Dan
last
probably
week he
doesn't
said
listen to the pod.
Well, he should.
so-
I mean, I thought he was a friend of the show and Pat's.
Well,
and
Dan's
Pat was on the show,
pretty
so.
busy. Dan's pretty busy, man.
Sometimes.
He did lay out quite a case, though. I mean,
Compelling argument.
For sure.
Very compelling.
Like, for me, my only rebuttal was, it's Bill Belichick. And you're saying he's going to stink. I just don't know if that's true. And by the way,
and it's McDaniel.
I feel like that is most of New England fans' mindsets. Like, well, if Bill says it, we're rolling with it. And I don't see why you would ever not say that, to be honest. I don't know why you would ever doubt Bill Belichick. He had his dog doing the draft this year. So that's how Bill Belichick feels about the things. Every once in a while, we like to dive deep into the most beautiful part of the internet, the YouTube comments section, for a segment that we like to call YouTube Question.
YouTube question.
I really like the fact that a lot of our intro jingle there is manual, and it has to be done every single time.
Every time.
Zito has to say it. You two have to yell.
Yep. Can't miss a beat.
Oh. I don't even think about the stress you guys are under for YouTube questions. Let's get to it. Zito, what is it?
Oh, yeah, from LOL. Who was the scariest person in NFL that Pat had to play against?
Okay, who's that white dude from the Lions that used to wear red?
Van den Bosch.
That was it. That was the. Now, granted, Robert Mathis, the first day I walked into the Colts facility, I saw him working out, and I was like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm in the same league as that guy, right? He was just like dead set focused. He had brands all over. I'm like, that guy right there is awesome. Like, I'm happy that guy's on our team, not on the other team. But then you start looking around the NFL. The only time I've ever been captivated by somebody was the coin toss with the Detroit Lions, and it was Van den Bosch came out there. He had his red contacts in or whatever. And I'm only out there to represent special teams or whatever, and I'm not talking. So my job is literally just to go out there, stand there, and point which way I want to kick whenever the time comes. I'm either going, whoop, or I'm going, huh. That's all I'm doing. But all I could do was just stare at Van den Bosch the entire time. And he did not blink, it felt like, for like 2 minutes maybe. And I was like, geez, is that guy even human? Turns out he's not. That guy's just a special breed in of himself. And those red contacts were some of the most intimidating things I've ever seen in my entire life. I was like, what is this guy? Because I think I had white contacts at one point in high school. Because it was like the color contacts came out, and it was like a big deal for like maybe a month. It had a run, and I put the white ones in there, and everything just had a white haze around it because the color would get into the visual thing. So I didn't know how this guy was in the NFL with just a red haze all over his eyes, but I was captivated by it. That was the first time I was like, "What the fuck is going on here?" And it was awesome. It was absolutely awesome.
Do you think it helped the Lions win that game or no?
You guys, did you beat us?
I don't know. I was going to ask you.
I think we came back late and won. I think it was like a fourth quarter drive. Andrew Luck scored with like
he ran it in.
Yeah, it was
I
like
remember
no
that game.
seconds left on the clock.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
But I think Van den Bosch had a great game. Great question by LOL there. By the way, if that person got LOL as their subscriber name, they'd get in there early.
Oh, yeah. Long time
YouTuber. We appreciate it. Sorry for interrupting the beat drop and talking right through us coming back here. We have Cliff Averill, Super Bowl champ, former Seattle Seahawk, joining us in about 10 minutes or so. Big sports day in the world's history. A lot of things to talk about. Lakers win last night. The NBA playoffs are heating up. Heat swept the Pacers. Oklahoma City has evened the series to 2-2 with the Rockets. James Harden pushed over a hand sanitizer thing in anger afterwards. Not really hard. Mid-push, I think he realized that the hand sanitizer was his friend, not his enemy, but he still wanted to, get some frustration out. A lot of things happening. Tonight, I will be in attendance in the Zoom fan base for the Mavericks Clippers game happening at 9 o'clock. I believe FanDuel and I are doing some sort of game because FanDuel is the one that got me in there. The best picture of me, I believe, in FanDuel's eyes, or maybe the first picture. I'm not 100% sure what they're going to end up doing. They will announce it here this afternoon. will win $500 in site credit at FanDuel to gamble with or do daily fantasy with or do whatever the hell you want to do. That's tonight at 9 o'clock. I'll be going live from my house, so who knows if I'll have enough service to even get in there. Could be a tough challenge if I don't even get connected to the internet, which is very viable. We are 21 minutes into hour 2, and we are a live sports show. And sometimes people only watch this show and expect to understand what the hell is happening in the world. So since we are a live show and it is our duty to cover everything that's happening in the world, we have a segment with our friend Nick called News That Matters in the World That We Live In that you should know because you listen to our show daily with our friend Nick.
Wow.
Here you go, Nick. Here you go, Nick.
Come on. What's the name of the segment, Nick?
To perform that duty, Pat, to inform everyone.
Boy, Nick.
Oh, wow.
I'm happy to tell you that BTS video Dynamite has broken the YouTube record for most views in 24 hours.
Hey, we're a big BTS.
Yes, BTS is back, baby.
We are a big BTS show. This is their swan song too, right? This is their they're going out on the shield here. This is
the goodbye.
This is kind of the goodbye tour. Big thanks to everything BTS has done for the world. I love that they've just dominated YouTube with the song Dynamite. We obviously have been so thankful to live during the era that BTS came to be a K-pop band that captivated the world, including this show.
Yeah.
Big BTS show.
101 million views in 24 hours.
200,000 over from me. So, I mean.
Yeah, so you could see how 101 million.
For sure.
What's your favorite part of the song, Ty? It's just
chorus.
Like,
chorus just goes.
Bangs.
Just goes.
Bangs.
Always does.
It goes so hard. And that's what BTS will get you because they're such a positive, upbeat. And then once they get to that chorus, it's like, they captivated me. Yeah. You start dancing a little bit. Yeah, I understand. 101 million in 24 hours. No better band than BTS to deserve that honor. What else do we got, Nick?
Big time chicken news. For the first time ever, McDonald's is introducing a new flavor of chicken nuggets. Spicy nugs.
Are you serious?
This is the first time they've modified the chicken nugget since 1983.
No, it's not the first time. They've changed the meat blend that is in the chicken nuggets. So
New flavor,
Yeah,
sorry.
new flavor. I respect that. Wendy's spicy nugs, unbelievable. Chick-fil-A spicy nugs, unbelievable. Now we get a chance to see the master of fast food, McDonald's take on the spicy nugs. I'm pumped for it. The spicy McChicken was a great addition. It tasted unbelievable. Let's assume that the spicy nugs at McDonald's are going to be next level. I am pumped for that. When's it happen?
Soon.
When?
How soon?
Very soon.
How
Like
soon?
today?
Nick,
When's it happen?
you need to know this.
Nick, this is the news.
Hey.
Also, KFC is
When's it
suspending.
happening?
The spicy McNugget.
September 16th.
I'm not going to be on a cheat meal. I mean, I need them to
There's
get.
no carbs in those.
All right,
chicken.
All right, back to you. Hey, shout out to McDonald's, by the way, because they have changed their chicken quite a bit, and I believe it's probably from lawsuits and stuff like that, and having to adapt. They have that McChicken sandwich has been a steadfast in the old Mac.
staple.
It is. It really is. I can't wait to see what they do with the spicy nugs. Shout out to McDonald's getting it done there. And by the way, as I drove past a McDonald's, I think 2 days ago, I looked at that thing, and I said, damn, that's a good-looking McDonald's. It's maybe the biggest McDonald's I've ever seen. We were just down in Orlando. There was a 2-story McDonald's, this whole thing. I was like, that's the best-looking
Place? They don't have a play place?
I don't think they do play places anymore because of, like, needles and stuff in ball pits. But gotta watch those. And snakes in the ball pit.
Been there.
Gotta watch that. I mean, ball pits are a haven for danger. You can't be doing it. But I drove past McDonald's, and it was, like, so big, so nice. And you could tell that they were trying to, like, maybe change the way people think about them. And there's a lot of international travel to America that's in Orlando and all that stuff. And there's people that bash McDonald's. And I would like to be here and say that I'm not one of those people. I like the way their burgers taste. I enjoy the way their McChickens taste. And just because it happens to be cheap, very fast food, I don't think that should be any slander. I'm a McDonald's fan. And I grew up on it. So
Best Coca-Cola out there, too.
They got me. See, I'm not a big Coke guy.
Hands down.
Coca-Cola from McDonald's is number one.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
They got to bring back the Big and Tasty. I was a big and tasty guy.
I never strayed from the dollar menu for about 10 years.
It wasn't a dollar menu for a little bit.
The Big and Tasty?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know about that.
I love the Big and Tasty.
I feel like you are potentially lying about the Big and Tasty, and I don't even know if you love the Big and Tasty. You just Googled big words from McDonald's and you saw Big and Tasty. Anything else happening in the world, Nick?
Yeah, KFC, due to the coronavirus, has suspended its slogan of finger licking good.
No.
What are you talking about? It's not finger looking good anymore?
Well, you guys relax. I mean, Ty, your reaction was was as if you were just heartbroken there. By the way, they went from Kentucky Fried Chicken to Kentucky Fresh Chicken. This is very standard for KFC. They are not scared to change it up when they have to, and you shouldn't be licking your fingers anymore because not only because COVID-19, but because most Ians, okay, won't even hand sanitize you like James Harden with those hand sanitizers, and you're coming in for a handshake after eating some fresh chicken. I don't need that in my life, and I don't want COVID-19 because of your despicable finger-licking actions, Ty.
Well, I gotta use a napkin now?
Well, if you're going out there licking your fingers and then sticking them in someone else's mouth, like, I don't know what to tell you. I'm licking my own fingers and washing my hands because the
Diggs.
Colonel
They got Purell in the
I mean,
the,
what are these
stores, too.
savages doing out here?
And they went fried to fresh because they
Well,
offered
that's the
grill
problem.
box.
It's always the outliers that ruin everything. And you got to remember, Zito's back there licking his fingers and then what? Punching on that computer,
yeah,
slapping.
you're right.
Yeah,
You're right.
Yeah. KFC can't have that liability.
Also, who calls it Kentucky Fresh Chicken?
Well,
Get out of town.
Well, that was a big whenever they were trying to make the world a healthier place.
Yeah.
We are no longer fried chicken. It's
Don't
like, well,
need it.
I would like a 10-piece, by the way, of your fried chicken.
Yeah.
I don't want any of the fresh stuff.
Well,
Give
then
me
they made the double down 2 days later. So
What's that?
that was where the bun was actually 2 pieces of fried chicken, and in the middle was bacon and cheese.
Yeah.
And KFC, by the way, big
It's finger licking, Z, not finger tasty.
they're a big marshmallow in the bottom, or not marshmallow, mashed potatoes in the bottom, gravy with chicken. I mean, KFC will get into the same very high brainstorming session that Taco Bell heads into, and they try to put things together. Taco Bell, I do believe, might smoke more marijuana than any other company in the history of companies with their concoctions, and I, for one, am grateful for what they do. KFC seems to do the same damn thing. Now they're no longer licking the damn fingers. What's up, Diggs?
Well, they're sister companies. They smoke the same strain.
Are they really?
Yeah, they.
Yeah, there was the combined Kentucky.
They're owned by they're owned
Yum
by
brands.
Yeah, and A&W root beer, they're also in there as well, aren't they? I believe.
They try and weasel
Long
their way.
Johns.
No, don't disparage them now.
I mean, we
Better than
know
Long
where
John's?
they fall in the pecking order of those couple.
I don't think I've ever ate at that place, and I don't know who would pick that place over anywhere else if there was just long ass lines in the other two. I guess is what
Well,
it would be
when
like.
your only option is like an A&W that's attached to a gas station, that should be your first inclination that, like, oh, this place doesn't have any standalone stores. This place probably stinks.
Hey, Iowa though, big gas station pizza place.
Yeah, you
Remember-
bet. Casey's is the
Gas
best. That's a
station
general store, though. That's not a gas station.
Who we were out there with for the college tailgate show with Portnoy and Trent in Iowa, and that was our best show, but nobody heard it because it went out with
So
zero sound.
good.
It was so much fun, and Dave does the pizza reviews, and everybody in town was like, "Did you do the Casey's breakfast pizza? Did you do the Casey's breakfast pizza?" So he does the Casey's breakfast pizza, and he said it was good. Like for gas station pizza, it was good, but it was too bacony, is what he said. There was too much bacon. Trent's dad was so disappointed that Dave said something was too bacony. It was one of my favorite moments I've ever been a part of or seen off camera. It was a legendary.
Because Trent was so excited to introduce his parents to Dave, and that's the first thing Trent's dad said. I don't know how you could have too much bacon. Just disgusted.
Hey, I understand people probably have their thoughts about Dave or whatever. He is hilarious all the time. I would like all the time.
Yes.
He is that tailgate show. I got a chance to travel around with him and watch him in action. Oh, electric.
It was so
factory.
much fun.
Was that
Oh
the day
my
of,
God, it was so much fun.
That was the day of your stand-up too, right?
Yeah. It was a long day, by the way. Pizza in the morning, then we do a whole show.
Great 30-minute show.
Great 30-minute show. It had no sound, which we did not know about. I punted a football over a parking garage at one point. I mean, I slammed some beers, and then I flew straight to Purdue, drove on a sidewalk because I wasn't going to be able to make it in time because they shut down roads to the theater that I was in. I had to go through there. Then I did a 94-minute set, had a good time. It was a hell of a day.
By the way, Ty, Iowa, great place. Like,
Yeah,
really
Great
awesome.
place.
They actually did the tailgate show from I lived in the house next door
Oh,
in that
so-
driveway. Yeah,
Good spot.
great area.
Iowa's great.
Right off Melrose there. Yeah, too bad I can't play this year.
We have to pivot. Yeah, can't play. They wanted to.
Yeah, they did.
Can't
Tried.
play. Tried to play. Nebraska tried to play.
Did their best.
Ohio State tried to play.
Tried to play.
Can't play. Can't do it.
Won't do
it. Joining us now, man who's a Super Bowl champion. Every time I talk to him, I feel like I go, hey, great conversation with that guy. Ladies and gentlemen, formerly of the Seattle Seahawks. Now, incredible talker of sports, Cliff Averill.
What's
Thanks, man. Hey, I heard you bringing up Purdue, man. You had some good times there? What's going on?
A boiler up. I had my biggest stand-up show at Purdue. 6,000-seat theater I did up there at Purdue. It was good people.
Nice.
Yeah, it was good. Very good people. I mean, the show was okay. I went for like 90 minutes. I'd say 70 good, 20 bad. But the people battled.
That's not a bad average.
Hey, I don't think so either. The people battled with me. I finished an entire bottle of wine, I believe, up on the stage, and then brought out another one, but there was no alcohol allowed, so we called it apple juice. I mean, it was quite a night, but I love Purdue and good people up there. I sound like Zito there a little bit. Cliff, how are you doing? You're back in your basement, I see, with the beautiful painting behind you. How has life been since the last time we chatted?
I can't complain, man. You know, the motto is, just stand out the way and take care of these babies, man. Just take care of the boys and, just trying to make the best of the circumstances.
Okay, let's talk about the current circumstances in the football world. A guy you know a lot about. You played alongside for a long time, Legion of Boom. How we doing? Earl Thomas. The whole situation with Earl Thomas, and the thing is being talked about is the Seattle Seahawk culture is a great one. He got sent out of there. He went out middle finger flying, literally. Then he goes to the Baltimore Ravens. He gets sent out of there after fighting with a younger player, and they say conduct detrimental, and they're going to try to get their money back. Now he's on the market. What was it like to play alongside Earl Thomas, and what do you think would help Earl Thomas succeed at his next place? Like, what do you think it's going to take? What do you think it is? Is it just the culture? Is it the fit? Is it the people? What do you think it is?
Well, first off, as far as for a teammate, Earl was great. Now, I will say, my first year coming into Seattle, it took me a while to understand who he was. Earl's the type of guy, during walkthroughs, walkthroughs are pretty chill. I'm eating sunflower seeds, just hanging out, and he's in the zone. Like, he's one of the guys that's out there sweating during a walkthrough because he's just locked in all the time. And it took me a while to just understand, like, dude, calm down, just walk through. We got practice after this. You can hit somebody after this, right? And it just took me a while to get used to that. But once I got used to it, understood why he was the way he was, because on Sundays, the boy shows out, right? So you just accept him for who he is. And I think the reason why Baltimore, or they may have had a little bit of friction in Baltimore, is because you just have to understand who Earl is. He is super focused. He is locked in, and he can come off as different sometimes. So I just don't think he got enough time to actually be able to be himself more so than anything.
That's really interesting because when LaRon Landry came to our team, now he was yoked. I mean, but he came with, like, nobody really understood what we were going to get. And then first walkthrough, he was full speed. We're talking sprinting through gaps that he's supposed to be in. He hit a wide receiver whenever in a walkthrough, and there was like an entire I don't want to say like there was a wave of hate that came over the entire team hated him though. They're like, hey bud, like this is not what we can do. But then we got a chance to learn who he was, and he was like this incredible human. It was like, oh my God, we love this guy. It is something where you have to learn about somebody before you can get going. Who's a team, and everybody's talking Dallas, but it's come out that Dallas is not going to be a team that's going to sign him because McCarthy said that he's looked into it, but it's not what he wants in his culture or whatever. But if Jerry Jones wants him, we all know Jerry's going to sign him.
Exactly.
What team do you think Earl Thomas would be a good fit in if you, just thinking that you know him, is it the people? Is it the coaches? Then it was, Ryan Clark told us yesterday that the scheme in Baltimore was one that he didn't thrive in. What do you think? Where do you think he potentially lands at? What type of place?
I think the biggest thing is going to be a coach that has a mindset like someone like Coach Carroll, who is open-minded about just any type of player. Because a lot of times coaches want players to be a certain way.
Oh yeah.
Well, there's going to be different players, and everybody has different backgrounds and whatnot. So there's going to be some difference, and it has to be a coach that's open-minded about having a player that again, he'll run through and walkthroughs, and he'll do those types of things. And coaches can't be mad because obviously that's what's made him great for so long. I would still say the Cowboys are in it. Although McCarthy came out and said what he said, we all know Jerry Jones is going to sign who the heck he wants to sign. You look at the list of guys that, quote unquote, some teams may have wanted to stay away from or had baggage. You look at Pac-Man, T.O., Greg Hardy, all these guys, Alden Smith that's on the team right now. You look at all these guys right now, they all have come through the locker room. So if you want a potential, a future Hall of Famer on the back end of your defense that's going to kind of, do his own thing, I think he has to go to the Cowboys because he will take that defense to a next level. And honestly, he loves the Cowboys. Like, for some reason, people have an issue with guys in the NFL that play for said team, but grew up loving another team, and you have a problem with it. He loves the Cowboys. He wants to be there. He grew up in Texas, so I think it would be a perfect fit for both parties.
How'd you feel whenever you heard the undrafted rookie was trying to sneak a lady into the hotel dressed and disguised as a player in Seattle? Your initial reactions?
When I first heard that, first and foremost, I'm like, wait up, were you drafted? No, okay. You're in the team hotel? Okay, yes, you were. You tried to bring her in with a hoodie on, and like, no, what are you doing, man? You're trying to earn a job. Now you might not even get the opportunity to play in the NFL because you wanted some action, right? And I think that's a problem, So I had the same reaction as everybody else, man. It was hilarious. It's sad because as a player, you only get so many opportunities, and you just lost it over, something you could have waited on a few weeks later. I don't know if it made sense, man.
And it got such a big story because how ridiculous it was. And word travels throughout the NFL. It's like, this guy's an idiot. Like, we can't have this guy.
This the dummy that lost his job from some action.
Hey, don't be that guy right there. Just don't be
that guy
right there. What do you got, Diggs?
Cliff, have you ever had a chance to meet Mr. Unlimited?
Yeah, let's talk about that.
Russell Wilson. I mean, not Mr. Unlimited. I don't think he would ever bring that guy into the locker room because we would roast him. All right, we would roast him. He can only do that on the internet. He can only do that on IG. But it's funny to me because it's just Russ trying to show a different side of him, right? Trying to be funny. Can come off as a little bit of cornballish, but
no,
that's like what.
No,
it can come off as that, but that's just him trying to be different.
Really?
That's just him trying to be funny, and I like it because he's just trying to figure it all out, man.
Now, I've never met Russell Wilson, so whenever I think everybody had the same thought about Tim Tebow, they're like, "There's no way Tim Tebow can be like that." There's no the image that is pitched of Tim Tebow. There's no way that he can be like that. Then we met him. And he was exactly that way. And Tim Tebow has changed the way I look at people like Russell Wilson. Because Russell Wilson, if you look at the way he has been pitched and framed via the media, it's like, hey, here's a perfect human who works really hard, plays for the Yankees every single year. He's a Super Bowl champion, MVP candidate. He always is upbeat. He's always positive. And it can rub people the wrong way. So whenever Mr. Unlimited comes out, they definitely have a reason to bury him. Through playing alongside him and knowing him, like I have not. Is he like that is Russell Wilson all the time?
Listen, I tell people this all the time. I've known him for the last 7 years. It's extremely hard to fake the funk for 7 years.
Agreed.
It's extremely hard to fake it. So to me, when we're talking about Russ and who he is, that's genuinely who he is. That's who he's been since I met him. He's consistent with that. It's just people just have to accept people for who they are, and that's just who he is. I mean, he's a great dude. I've never had any issues with him. Anytime I call him, he picks up. Anytime I need him for any event or anything like that, he comes through.
See
he's
that?
just an awesome dude, man.
See that, Ty?
Yes, good guy.
Here's one of his haters right here. This guy right here.
Oh, come on, man.
Hey, he's a hater.
Because you don't understand him? Because you don't believe him?
Yeah, is that right, Ty? Because you don't understand Mr. Unlimited?
Yeah, I think it's fake.
But he just said it's not.
It's hard to fake. It's hard to fake it for 8-9 years, man.
I agree.
There has to be a chink in your armor at some point.
He's a robot, though. He's just a robot.
Yeah, he's a great player.
Can that not be him? Can that not just be him?
Well, he can be. That doesn't mean I have to like him.
Come on. You don't even respect
You don't have to like him, but you can't not like him for who he is, though. Like, come on. That's just what it is.
Yeah.
I respect him as a football player. We'll say that.
There you go.
That's all you need.
And he's played for the Yankees and everything like that. That's big news.
Tarnishes the pinstripes.
What's that?
I say tarnishes the pinstripes.
No. Listen to that. Guy is a hater over here.
Straight hater, man. Come on now. You got to do better than that.
58,300 and some tests have been done by the NFL in like the last whatever. 0 positive cases. Is this surprising to you? It is to me because it's not just players, it's coaches, it's equipment staff, it's training staff. Everybody's buying in, and I guess I shouldn't be surprised by it, but I ultimately am because this is a wild scene that the NFL's buying in. Everybody's buying in while still going home and training camp and stuff.
I am surprised, and the reason I say I'm surprised is because I forget the kid's name, but little stupid incidences like that happen, right? Like the kid that tried to sneak the young lady in, right?
Yeah.
Like guys are young. You know what I mean? You're 22, 23 years old. You get in that doggone hotel or whatever. Like, you just get bored and whatnot. So to be able to isolate yourself and protect the team, protect yourself, protect the organization, I think is huge for guys to be able to do so. But I'm definitely surprised because of, again, like I just said, the age factor and guys wanting to be out and about.
Cliff, I have heard a lot of love for the Detroit Lions recently on the internet.
Yeah. Hey,
why is
let's
that?
go. Hey, here we go.
Why is there so much love for the Lions right now? Optimistic, I guess. A lot of people are optimistic about what's to come. We'll see what Stafford and what's going on with those guys. But the thing with the Lions, man, what I guess frustrates me sometimes is they've had guys on their team to be able to make them, playoff team year in and year out. Stafford's been an elite quarterback, in my opinion. He has a Rocky. He's had Calvin Johnson. We had Sue on the team. He's had some players around him, but for some reason, they have not been able to get over that hump. And I don't know what it is. I don't know if the team's cursed, the city's cursed. I don't know. But they've had guys on that roster that could have made them, one of the elite teams in the NFL, and they just haven't been able to make things happen.
Hey, the fans do not deserve that. We are a big pro Detroit sports fan show, but the teams themselves, we just have to call it like it is. It's been a rocky couple decades.
They stick.
Few decades for sure. I was part of it. I was 0-16 with the squad. You know what I mean? I was on that team as a rookie. Yes. So I've seen some of the worst times there, and like I said, we've had players there. It's just, I don't know. They just couldn't figure it out.
Mr. Unlimited Dan Orlovsky was quarterback for that team, I believe, right? At one point.
He was. Quick story about Dan. He might hate this, but quick story about Dan. I'm rookie year. He's rolling out. He's starting quarterback, and he's starting the quarterback, and we're playing against the Vikings.
Yeah, we know.
Yes, and he rolls out of the back of the end zone, and he's still like looking downfield as if he's not 5 yards in the back of the end zone. And I'm like, wait up, this is the NFL, right? Like, how did we not know what was going on right there? Dan is my guy, but I have to tell that story every time I think about that 0-16 year.
Well, we'll dump that because Dan's our guy too. I'm sure nobody heard that. He said that the Patriots are going to stink this year too. He said they're not going to make the playoffs. I mean, there's a lot to talk about there. I would like to take a trip back. Last question here before we let you go, and I can't thank you enough for joining us. When you were a free agent out of Detroit, you're a massive name. And the Colts needed a pass rusher at the time. We needed somebody. And there was a thought, I was like, are we going to get this massive name guy? Then there was a lot of conversations like, well, you don't always have to go after the marquee names because they're going to be expensive. There's other people. And I was always like, well, marquee names are marquee names for a reason, right? There is a reason they're marquee names. What teams all came after you during that? Or was it just Seattle showed the most interest early and you were going to go there?
There was a few teams. So it was the Browns. I think the Colts reached out. The Browns. I want to say Steelers as well, but it was one of those times. Me personally, because it was you only get so many bites at the apple, right? Get free agency, you're gonna get this bag, you're gonna get to change things up, and for whatever reason, there wasn't a big market for defensive ends that year, and so I decided to go to Seattle, honestly, based off of LOB, knowing that I would have a little bit more time to get after the quarterback because of the guys on the back end with Richard Sherman and Earl. We just talked about Earl, Cam Chancellor, and those guys. So that was one of the main reasons why I decided to go to Seattle.
Well, that makes sense, by the way. I'd probably do the same thing. I would probably, if I was a defensive end named Cliff Averill, I'd do the same damn thing. I was very surprised we didn't sign you, though, because we needed somebody. Well, I was very
you know what? Indy would have been fun because obviously the Purdue ties. My wife is from Indy. Maybe that would have been a headache, actually. So maybe that's the reason why.
They probably thought that, too. They're like, it's too much for the guy. Ladies and gentlemen,
probably.
Super Bowl champ, Pro Bowler, stud for the Seahawks and the Lions for a long time. Ladies and gentlemen, Cliff Averill. Thank you, Cliff.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
No problem. Great chatting with you, Cliff. He's a good dude.
Yes, sir. Have a good one.
We got to get to a break. Boiler up, bub. Boiler up. We got to get to a break. We got AJ Hawk joining us in like 15 minutes. What we're going to do after this show ends on radio is we're going to end our stream on YouTube and then start another stream up like a minute and a half later for McAfee and Hawk because we're trying to figure out the YouTube algorithm right now, okay? This is talked about a lot. We are not the humans to be trying to figure out any algorithms, but we're going to give it a go, see how it goes, and we're going to see if the YouTube viewers bounce over to McAfee and Hawk or not. And by the way, this is a big deal today to see what we end up doing for the long haul.
Oh, yeah.
Need the viewers not to be lazy. Okay,
No.
need them to make a move with us.
No, it's an equation, okay? The variables need to change.
This is what happens. If X equals this and this equals this, when this starts going lower, guess what you got to do to X? Got to change it. Change variable. 46 minutes after the hour, we're back on the other side. This is the Pat McAfee Show. Well, hello, sensual piano keys. You sound incredibly inspirational and motivational. Big announcement coming from our company. You know, throughout my entire life, I've made decisions that people have said, ooh, that is stupid. You've read about them, you heard about them. When I was in high school, I went to an underground poker game, won $1,400, flew myself down to Miami, won a kicking contest, and got a scholarship to West Virginia the next day. I turned my back on soccer that day. Everybody said, you're an idiot. Why are you doing that? You have more schools looking at you for soccer than you do for football. What are you thinking? Fast forward 8 years with the Indianapolis Colts, and I was on top of the world, top of the mountain. How's the view? Not too shabby. And when I was at the top of my game, I decided, you know what? I'm going to pursue some other stuff. My friends and I are going to go to work on the internet. We're going to try to chase fulfillment as opposed to just a paycheck. And there were some interesting responses from people of power in the sporting world.
Make them tear the uniform off of you. Sure. Look, somebody needs to stage an intervention. People who know this guy, get to him now. Make him put his helmet back on and get to camp.
Oh no, there's no intervention, Wilbon. No, no, no. Here we are 3 years after that date, and it's a celebration, bitches! Cut the music! Let's hand out some bags to the boys. For the boys. For the boys. By the way, that's for you, brother.
Oh my God.
Are you home? All right, come out the front door.
What's up, dude?
What is this?
What's this?
Oh, you son of a bitch.
What the fuck? Fuck you.
Oh, yeah.
That is the bag of money.
FanDuel deal went through. There's $50,000 in there for you. Here's a backpack with $50,000 in it. Well, $50,000 in there.
Oh my God.
Yes, there's $50,000 in there. Yes, there's $50,000.
Are you fucking serious?
Let's go.
You brought it back?
Oh, man. Let's go, dude.
Let's go. I appreciate you, buddy.
Yo, this is...
Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you, dude.
We did it?
Couldn't have done it without you.
Oh, thank you.
Dude, it's a fuck ton of money.
You guys.
When I asked Dan Patrick for some advice, he told me always take care of the boys.
Well, and you should know those people that are there with you, that their value cannot be overstated and should not be overstated.
So, Mike Wilbon, they didn't hold my jersey on me. They didn't hold my helmet on me. We didn't have an intervention. What we have is a celebration. Because when you bet on yourself, sometimes you hit for big. And for us, the only place we'll bet for the next couple years in an exclusive deal, FanDuel backed the Brinks truck up to our office, and we have never been more thankful, more excited, and more together as we promote the greatest sports book on planet Earth.
Raycon in the house, y'all.
Hey, shout out to Raycon.
Everyone needs a great pair of wireless earbuds, and you already know Raycon earbuds are about half the price of any other premium wireless earbud on the market. And that they sound just as amazing as other top audio brands you know.
Nice.
Bullet point 1. The newest model, the Everyday E25 earbuds, are their best ones yet, with 6 hours of playtime, seamless Bluetooth pairing, and a more compact design that gives you a nice noise isolating fit.
Yep, you're damn right.
Bullet point 2. Raycon's wireless earbuds are so comfortable. How comfortable are they? Thanks for asking. Perfect for conference calls, video chats, or binging podcasts. Bullet point 3 is in a different color, so I can't read that one. Bullet point 4. Unlike some of your other wireless options. What, Tone? Why'd you look at me? Raycon earbuds are both stylish and discreet, with no dangling wires or stems. I'm going to call the action real quick, because I love Raycon. Get 50% off for your order at buyraycon.com/Pat. That's buyraycon.com/Pat for 50% off Raycon wireless earbuds. Buyraycon.com/Pat.
Shout out to Raycon. And shout out to everybody who chose to listen or watch this show today. We cannot thank you enough. Big thanks to Eddie George, Dan Orlovsky, Cliff Averill. AJ Hawk will be joining us here in a few minutes on another live stream at youtube.com/The Pat McAfee Show. McAfee and Hawk kicks off here relatively soon. Biggest news of the day, Connor, that we talked about. What do you think?
I would say you being on the stream tonight for
the
Mavericks.
Okay, so we
Clippers
just got FanDuel has just completely confirmed what we will be doing tonight. There will be a Where's Waldo type Where's Pat contest. Anybody who snipes a photo of me tonight in the Mavs Clippers virtual fans and tweets it using the hashtag Where's Pat and at me and at FD Sportsbook will be entered into a random drawing for $500 site credit, and I'll also give $500 as well. So two people will get randomly selected for $500 site credit. If you can find me in the virtual fan base tonight for the Clippers Mavericks game at 9 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Cannot wait to join that. I'm excited to see the delay, when I'm on, how it works. There's going to be a lot of moving, and if I have enough internet to even get on there. So should be fun. Can't thank you all enough for listening to this show. The future is going to be bright, but it will be different. We'll talk about that mañana and later this week. This has been The Pat McAfee Show, Tuesday, August 25th.
Cut the stream and then we go back live?
Yeah, so we're going to cut the stream and then we're going to go live on a different one. Are we muted currently?
No.
Hey, how's it going, everybody? This is what we're going to do. We're going to cut the stream.